Those straps in your car that you may or may not put on, those straps are very important. They save over 13,000 lives every single year. According to Traffic Safety Marketing, that is 13,000 less funerals that you have to have. That's 13,000 less people that are going to die just because they simply spent 10 measly seconds and put on their seatbelt. 10 measly seconds can save a lifetime. 10 seconds to save a family from heartbreak, to save a family from the tragedy of losing a loved one. If you have someone you love that doesn't use their seatbelt, you should tell them and let them know to think twice. Or if you yourself don't put yours on, you should think twice as well. By not wearing your seatbelt, you're putting yourself at extreme risk, and by putting it on, you increase your chances of surviving a fatal crash just by 50%. You're doubling your odds just by putting your seatbelt on of surviving. You're also 30 times more likely to get ejected without having your seatbelt on if you're ever in a crash, which ejection is usually what causes fatalities in car wrecks. If you think you only need your seatbelt on long drives, you're dead wrong, because typically 80% of traffic fatalities occur within 25 miles of your home and under 40 miles per hour. So if you think you only need it on long highway drives or when you're going really fast, you're completely wrong. The misconception of seatbelts needs to stop, and people need to get completely informed about how important seatbelts are and how safe they can be. If you think you can brace yourselves, even if you had enough time in that split second to brace yourself, the force of stopping your body from moving would shatter your arms or your legs, whichever you use, versus a seatbelt would stop you because it's attached to the frame of the vehicle and it's made out of a material that doesn't rip or tear easily. Seatbelts and airbags also work together. So the way that works is, there's a misconception of people thinking that if you have an airbag, you don't need a seatbelt. That's completely wrong, because seatbelts are made to complement airbags. By having a seatbelt, you increase the effectiveness of an airbag by 40%. According to the National Safety Council, 90% of Americans are now using their seatbelts, which is a big increase over the last 20 to 30 years. If you can see in this graph, which will be posted online, the more seatbelt usage that you have, the less car fatalities that there are. Even if you don't wear your seatbelts, you double your odds of death. Every time you don't wear your seatbelt, you double your odds of death, which is an astounding number. You're also breaking the law and risking yourself of a costly citation, which can add up and be very expensive. The ways we can solve this: we can make seatbelt reminders a lot more annoying in cars. And trust me, I'll be the first to say I hate my seatbelt reminder, but it does a job every time I put on my seatbelt, because I don't want to hear that annoying, dumb beep in my car. Secondly, I think that we can increase the fines. I hate tickets, I hate fines, of course, but if people are informed about how expensive and costly not wearing their seatbelt is, they would just wear their seatbelt. It's very simple. As well as advertising those fines, putting it on billboards like you might see already, putting the amount of fines, like click it or take it, all those campaigns would be very effective at increasing this use of seatbelt usage. With all this said, I have one question to ask. Is 10 measly seconds worth your entire life?